The Journey of the Chosen, Understanding Our True Purpose. Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. I wanted to dive into something that's been on my mind lately, and I think many of you might relate. You know those moments when you feel a deeper connection to your purpose? Well, today, we're talking about something that's kind of profound, the idea of being chosen. What does it really mean? Is it some mystical calling, or can we achieve this sense of purpose on our own? So, grab a seat, maybe a cup of coffee, and let's chat about how intuition and ego play a role in our lives. Recently, I was watching this video that just struck a chord within me. Imagine this: you're waiting in a sacred hall, and you get this unexpected letter from someone named James. You might think of King James, right? But the real vibe I felt was more spiritual. I could almost hear a chorus welcoming me, saying, "Welcome." The word hung in the air, vibrating like a ripple across a calm pond. That moment made me reflect on my own experiences, especially when I think about my song lyrics. For example, I once wrote, "Sun dropped the sunbeam, sun on my face, kneeled at the throne in front of his grace." Those moments where I felt like I was in the presence of something bigger, I live for them. They resonate deeply, reminding me that I'm not alone in this journey. Now, let's talk about the voices we hear around us. We live in a world overflowing with messages, don't we? From media outlets to influencers, everyone has something to say. Take Alex Jones, for example, has definitely a polarizing figure. Some see him as a voice for the people, speaking truths that others try to bury. But the mainstream media loves to paint him as a liar. It's essential for us to navigate these waters wisely. We have to be skeptical about the information we consume. I've had my doubts too. Are we being told the truth, or is there more beneath the surface? Learning to trust ourselves while questioning the narratives out there is key. All right, let's dive into something a bit heavier: the conflict between ego and authenticity. I've come to realize that many of us struggle with this. On one hand, you may feel this incredible sense of purpose, yet there's that nagging feeling of, am I just being egotistical? I've always believed in humility. I never wanted to feel set apart from anyone else. It's this delicate balance between recognizing our worth and staying grounded. I've gotten caught up in seeking external validation, especially when someone tells me my music has helped them. It feels amazing, but does it make me less authentic? I don't want my self-worth tied solely to praise or approval. But here's the kicker: I genuinely want to make a significant impact. I've faced my own trials and believe they've shaped me to help others. Whether it's through music or humor, I've tried to lift others up, just as I've needed uplifting. Back in the day, I thought I'd be a comedian. You know why? Because I'd get targeted, often feeling like the odd one out. Instead of shrinking away, I turned it into laughter. It was my way of flipping a double negative into a positive. I wanted to make others smile and feel appreciated, just as I struggled with feeling accepted. That core desire to help, along with the urge for validation, creates this fascinating tension within us. So, what about the idea of attracting certain messages in our lives? I found myself feeling like I stumble upon videos that resonate exactly when I need them. It's almost as if the universe knows what I'm searching for, like I'm tapping into a frequency that aligns with my thoughts and emotions. Have you ever clicked on a video that said, "This was meant to find you"? Most of the time, it might have been posted weeks or even months ago, but somehow it feels timely. Could it be our energy is attracting specific content? It makes you wonder how our inner vibrations influence our outer experiences. So, to wrap things up, being chosen doesn't mean we're set apart in some extraordinary way. It's about embracing our journeys, our struggles, and yes, even the conflicting feelings we have about our purpose. Everyone's path looks different, and that's the beauty of it. I hope this conversation encourages you to reflect on your own experiences. Are you listening to your intuition, or is ego leading the charge? Let's engage. Share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to dive deep into something that's been on my mind a lot lately: what it means to feel chosen. Whether we're listening to that inner voice or simply craving a greater understanding of our purpose, it's a powerful journey. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's explore this together. So imagine this, you're chilling at home when suddenly you receive this mystical letter from someone named James. And you'd think, who's James? This letter feels like a heartfelt message straight from a higher place. Picture it. You're in this sacred hall, waiting for someone special to show up. And when they arrive, it feels like they're trying to convey something profound. You totally understand the weight of their words, but the meaning just slips away like water between your fingers. Now let's talk about this fantastic sensation. As this presence gets comfortable, there's a chorus of voices like a heavenly choir. Their soft tones fill the space, vibrating through every part of you. It's so powerful that it is almost surreal. Imagine standing by a serene pond where a single drop creates ripples, echoing the welcome. You feel it in your bones and your soul. Speaking of magic, let's touch on music for a bit. In my old songs, I often wrote about feeling God's presence and the power of His grace. There's this line I have, sun drop the sunbeam, sun on my face. It's all about that connection. Music can heal, you know? When I sing or create, it's like pouring my thoughts and feelings into the universe. It becomes a sort of therapy for me, and I've seen it help others too. That ability to touch someone's heart with your art is truly a gift, isn't it? But here's where it gets tricky. We often find ourselves battling with ego versus intuition. Like, how do we know when we're being truly authentic versus just playing into our ego's whims? I've certainly had moments of doubt, wondering if my desire to help others comes from a genuine place or just a need for validation. It's a dance, really. I think we can all relate to that craving for approval. You create something and you want it to resonate with people. But I've learned that the more I focus on my intent to genuinely help, the more true connections I build. And speaking of connections, let's chat about YouTube's algorithm. It's like this weird cosmic game sometimes. You throw out your intentions into the universe, and suddenly, the video you need pops up, like it was meant for you. Now, I love a good story, right? So let's take a look at some classic tales. Think about the three ghosts in A Christmas Carol. Many say they represent our mind, body, and soul. Oh, and how about tech? I mean, we can't ignore its role. Whether it's geospatial technology or artificial intelligence, it seems we're blending our spiritual paths with the digital age. Have any of you experienced that sensation where you feel almost weightless during your creative process? It's like you're floating, and suddenly ideas pour out of you effortlessly. And to wrap things up, let's ponder the idea of purpose. The phrase "as above, so below" really hits home when you consider our collective journey. What if we are all interconnected? So there you have it, friends. Our exploration of being chosen, the journey of self-discovery, and how all these elements intertwine. Remember, it's okay to feel lost sometimes. Hey there, friends. Today, I'm excited to share a story that's a little bit different from your usual fare. It's about a boy named Eli and his incredible journey. Imagine being in a world where you're always waiting for your dad to finally come home, waiting for your mom, who seems to work nonstop, and waiting for anything to change. It's pretty tough, right? But sometimes, in that quiet, desperate longing, something amazing can unfold. So, let me ask you this. What happens when a heart filled with hope and pain discovers the ability to heal others, but also carries the weight of its own limitations? Eli is just a young boy, stuck behind the glass of his window, watching life pass by. And let me tell you, his dad, a pro at making promises he never keeps. His mom, always working her fingers to the bone just to make ends meet. So you can imagine, Eli's heart ached for connection. Every day, he'd sit with his grandpa, who tried to fill that void with tales of his younger days. Life's a tapestry, Eli, he'd say with a wise smile, woven with both light and shadow. But honestly, all Eli saw were shadows. Now, let's talk about George, the grumpy old neighbor living a few doors down. Every time Eli tried to say hi, it felt like he was talking to a brick wall. George's replies were always less than friendly. You could practically feel the sour vibes coming off him. But Eli, being the optimistic kid he is, never gave up hope. He thought to himself, if I ever get the chance, I'd heal that man's heart first. Little did he know, his lesson in healing was right around the corner. One fateful evening, everything flipped upside down. A mysterious storm rolled into the city, and out of nowhere, Eli found himself enveloped in this radioactive sound waves. Sounds wild, right? But those waves changed everything for him. They granted him the incredible gift of music capable of healing. Suddenly, with each strum of his guitar, he could ease other people's pain. Folks began to flock to him, enchanted by songs that seemed to mend their broken spirits. Everyone thought Eli was some sort of miracle worker. But hold on a second, Elis's incredible power didn't come without its struggles. While he could strum away everyone's sadness, he realized he couldn't budge George's deep-rooted remorse. That hit him hard. He felt the weight of his abilities and the bitter truth that while he could help heal hearts, changing minds, that was a whole different ballgame. It was a humbling moment. Eli understood that he could help heal the heart, but the mind, that was another story entirely. As Eli's reputation grew, so did an unsettling energy around him. With powerful frequencies bringing in tons of positivity, they also attracted something darker. Those shadowy entities lurking on the sidelines smelled Eli's unique ability and were ready to feast on the despair of others. And guess what? George's health started declining, and Eli could feel an urgency thrumming in his chest. Would he have enough time to help George before it was too late? But fate is a tricky thing. Just when Eli was getting ready to help George, tragedy struck. George passed away before Eli could even say, "I'm here. I want to help." Boom. Suddenly, that flicker of anger flared up inside Eli. It was that raw feeling when you realize the world has taken something precious from you. He lost not just a chance to heal George's sorrow, but also the space to process his own regret. Now, the darkness finally revealed itself. An entity awakened by all the chaos was lurking nearby. In that moment, Eli felt doubts creeping in, uncertainty clawing at his heart. Just as despair threatened to topple him, he discovered a note from George or had a vision of him. In this pivotal moment, Eli learned George's story, the hidden admiration beneath George's gruff exterior. "Thank you, Eli," he whispered, "for your patience." That empowering moment gave Eli the strength to face the looming darkness head-on. Eli's journey teaches us that healing goes beyond our physical abilities. It touches the essence of connection, understanding, and love. If you enjoyed Eli's story and want to see more inspiring tales, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world. Until next time, keep shining bright.